Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Two Tired Parents Podcast. I'm Myles Weber.
I'm Heather Weber.
And as always, we are tired.
We are.
And we are also solo.
Solo.
We're solo right now. We haven't
When's
done
the last time we've been alone in a room for an hour? That, like, we're not going to bed.
Alone in a space. Yeah, I mean, like, alone in a space fire. Because even, like, the last couple of solo episodes that we did were at the house. Mm-hmm. And so, like, yeah, this is nice to just, it's only you and I in this room right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just
We
enjoying. Can't hear dogs. I'm just enjoying the fizz of my drink right now. So I mean, like that's just kind of like the the sound meditation that we can.
Holding something. Told you.
And relax. It's nice because I mean, we should probably start since this is a solo episode with just kind of like.
I was trying to do this.
You're trying to do like the little tap. I know, right? I mean, we get a little bit. Yeah. Okay, we got a little bit.
Your ring is sturdier, so.
It is. This is very true. So, I mean, let's do like a quick check here because I mean, a lot's happened in our personal life.
I think it's crazy because we've been doing this podcast now for 10 months.
Yes.
Like from in our kitchen to now.
Yes.
10 months. Which is bananas because in that, like, I was pregnant and then baby came out and we've had all sorts of crazy things happen this year already.
That's a fact.
And we were at a point in the beginning of doing the podcast that we had a lot of check-ins and then we had guests, which has been amazing in its own thing. But yeah, there hasn't been too many check-ins.
Has not been a lot of check-ins. Mm-hmm. And so this would be a good time to check in, especially because I mean, like for people who do follow us on social media, they have been seeing inklings of just like, are y'all okay?
No.
And so on a schedule.
I'm sorry, was I supposed to lie?
On a
Is
scale,
this a check-in or not?
I mean, on a scale from thriving to hanging by a thread, where like threads would be great.
Oh yeah.
You got a thread to hang by?
Oh yeah.
What is that like?
Like Tarzan,
you just got a thread like hanging by my thread. People enjoy the hang, have fun. That's probably why they took our threads away. They didn't know what we'd do if we had them. So. So, I mean, like, because I'm trying to think back when the last one we did was, but it was like earlier this year that we did.
I mean, solo, I don't think we've done since the garage, like after having River.
So,
like
I mean, yeah. So middle of February, I had a health.
Day after Valentine's Day.
Day after Valentine's Day, February 15th, as one does, on my way to go to travel for work. Mm-hmm. In the train to the plane that I was supposed to get on, but didn't. I had a gallstone attack and got rushed to the Kaiser in San Francisco.
Yeah, you had an ambulance pick you up from the airport.
Had an ambulance pick me up from the airport. The guys found out I was a comedian very quickly, stopped paying attention to what they were doing as EMTs. Yeah, man, that's always the hesitation. I always have hesitation when it comes time for like meeting a new person and them finding out what I do. Mm-hmm. It's easier for them to just see what I do because then they understand the context of what it is as opposed to whatever their prejudged notion of being a comic is. So that's always my worry. Yeah. But especially when I'm meeting a person who's about to do an important job for me. And half the time, these people have known who I was. Like, I mean, from counselors to therapists, and like,
I mean, even my first labor and delivery with Robyn.
Yeah, when we were in the labor and delivery room with Robyn, the nurses knew who I was and wanted a picture. And so, like, I'm very aware of just like, they gotta find out I'm a comic at some point because they're gonna ask me everything about me because they need to figure out what's going on with this person. Mm-hmm. And yeah, as soon as I was in the ambulance, and they were just like, "Oh, you're a comedian, huh?" And I was just like, "Yeah, don't want to end up in one of your skits." I'm like, "Do your job effectively and not of note," because I mean, if there's a note to be had.
Well, and if you look at anybody's bits in comedy, right? Nobody's doing a bit about a great thing that went 100% according to plan. So if you just have things keep going according to plan, we won't talk about you.
If you want to be in my act, be around me in a situation gone awry.
Yep.
That is what the act is about. It's the less than desirable situation that I'm in that I found the humor in. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, they were just like, don't put us in your skit for not being able to poke you right. And I was just like, the least likely. More, it's just like, can I get some water? Like, if I got to keep bugging you for water, that's going to bother me.
Yeah.
And so took a trip to the hospital. In the morning, they were trying to get my gallbladder out, but we were like, let's hang tight for a little bit. Let me see if I can keep food down. Let me see if the pain subsides. It did. I was able to. And then I've just been trying to like manage it by myself as much as I can in an attempt.
Yourself?
I mean, manage it on my own in the sense that it is my body and I am the one ultimately who is pulling the trigger on what goes into it, what doesn't go into it, with your advice that I'm really trying to adhere to. I had a slip up on a cruise ship a couple of weeks ago when I was away and fell prey to some of the quick breakfast sandwiches that they had, and then very quickly had to reroute my decision making into like, you're an omelet guy now. That's what you're doing. Like, you can't have any more of the cruise pork.
That sandwich kept you from enjoying Mexico.
It did. I did not get to enjoy Mexico because of a breakfast sandwich. And so I do not want to make the same mistakes again. So I've been managing my health as effectively as I can, to the point that since then, I've been pretty good. 2 weeks later, I got pneumonia because I went and did a quick contract on a cruise ship halfway around the world in Spain. And there was too quick of a contract. 3 days is too quick. I just canceled another one that I had for later this year. That was the same thing again. I was like, I can't do that again. Yep. I got pneumonia coming back because the travel was just too grueling. Like 3 days isn't long enough for your body to acclimate to a complete time change of like being awake all of when you're usually asleep and asleep all of when you're usually awake. Like that's a very hard change on your body. And then 3 days later to just keep it up for a day and a half to travel home, that was too much. And so we don't need any more of that in my life. Lessons learned on the heels of my health taking a turn and then starting to reroute itself back, though. Yours started to get to a point of discomfort, we'll say, if you want to clue people in onto as much as you were comfortable with cluing them into on that.
I think here's the hard part that I've told a lot of people is... I don't know where we want to go woo-woo side of things, but...
Do it. It's just us. It's the two of us. We can do whatever we want to do. If Mayim Bialik can talk with her partner about every woo-woo thing, including aliens with Daryl Anka, I think we can go full woo-woo if it's just the two of us.
I think my thing is like, what if one of my doctors, but not like they're doing much right now anyway, so who cares?
Nah. What if one of your doctors hears this?
Yeah.
Nah, they wouldn't put in that much effort.
True. I'm not that important.
I mean, you are, but not to them.
Yeah. So I don't know what all... So I did a journey, we'll call it.
Plant medicine journey.
Yeah.
I think that is the most PC way to say it.
Yeah, I did a plant medicine journey. I feel like a month ago now, right? Has it been a month ago?
Yes, I want to say we were right around. It was about a month ago.
And I got a message.
Yeah, a download.
I got a download that I had some health stuff going on.
Yeah.
That I had been ignoring.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, on that day, and I had already noticed maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I had a lump under my armpit that I pointed out to you.
Yes.
And I was like, well, it's not getting bigger. It's just like this hard jelly bean type feeling.
Yeah.
I had you feel it. It has been there the whole time, so it's not like an ingrown hair or anything like that. And so that's been there for a while. But that day is when I found more lumps on my neck, like through the sides, one on the back, like occipital region, and groin area. And that was when I was like, okay, let's do a doctor's appointment. And then very quickly realizing, oh, my fatigue's getting worse. I've had fatigue for years, I feel like.
You've been tired for a long
time.
I'd say since Robyn has been born.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not just like the parenting.
Yeah.
It's like, it's something deeper than just this constant
And that was why I
over-fatigue.
think like we had very, very briefly mention that I had to do like the sleep study for sleep apnea because some of my blood work and things were pointing to like maybe there's a sleep apnea type thing going on. And so they had me sleep with the machine, which they weren't ruling it as sleep apnea, but it was, I forgot what the term was that they were using, but essentially my shit's too small.
Yeah, you've got it too small of a sinus
And
in order for
mouth and everything.
Yeah, and your mouth is very small, and so it's just you're getting less air out.
Yeah.
And any time that your breath is obstructed, your heart rate is spiking when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
And that's causing, so you're just constantly in a state of flowing like panic and then relaxation, which doesn't make for good sleep.
Well, and so we were chalking it up with that, but now what's come up in God knows how much blood work I've done in the last 2
An
months.
insane amount of paneling.
Is it's showing that like something with my pituitary gland, it's a thing in your brain, isn't firing properly. Essentially, is what they've ruled it out to. They had me take a like very small dose steroid the night before doing one of the blood work or the blood panels, I guess, and it's essentially to bring down the natural cortisol levels and inflammation in your body. And then if it's still high, then that will show something's wrong.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, it was high. And I think I took it like 3 minutes before it was supposed to. So there's no way it would just be affected by that. Yeah. So that's come back wonky. And I think the hardest thing has been the fatigue, especially in the mornings. It like just feels like it takes a long time to come online.
Yeah.
Like to be able to process. I remember, also shame on me because I wasn't supposed to have social media first thing in the morning anyway, but I did. And I told her in a Marco, actually, I was like, you posted a picture of your mom's pants that it took me over 5 minutes to realize I was looking at a picture of pants. I don't know what my brain thought it was or was trying to make of it. And then that's become like in text messages or posts or like when I'm reading first thing in the morning, it's taking a lot longer and I don't want to toot my own horn, but my brain can do a lot of things.
It can. Like,
I can function very well and like process things. And so I think that's also what made it such a warning sign.
Yes.
It's like, oh, this is so not normal. And also makes it hard when you're talking to doctors.
Yeah.
Because I think, no offense to the average American, but I think I'm very much like put in that umbrella. And so they were like, oh, well, your kidney pains aren't kidney pains, it's sciatica. And I'm like, look.
No, you're not the person to tell what is and is not sciatica.
Right. And so I think that's also been the hard thing. And, I'm not the one that's like eating all these sugary foods or junk foods or like not hydrated. And so that's the hard part of like, I wish a doctor could know me as a person before.
I wish a doctor would know me as a person. Don't come up in here trying to figure out who I am fundamentally to my core to properly diagnose me, bitch. Like that. Let's reverse psychology them into trying to actually give a shit.
So I've been in the hospital a lot.
So much.
Lately.
Yeah.
I've made friends, though.
You made friends at the hospital. I mean, like, you're there so long. You've got people now who are invested in your journey.
What is funny is because one of the hospitals I've been at, a friend of ours is security there.
Yeah.
And so the other day he came and hung out with me in my room for a bit. And I was telling him about the time prior that I had made a friend in the lobby. And he was like, of course you did. Yeah. And I was like, that's what Myles said too. Because if I existed somewhere, there's probably a good chance I've made a friend.
You make a friend on a flight that you have, anytime you're
almost
in like
every
the
time
airport.
I've been on a plane.
Every time you go outside on your own and it's not mission oriented. If part of your journey is going and existing somewhere idly for a while, you will make a friend.
Yeah.
Because, I got to go take transportation from X to Y to Z. Well, in that downtime, you will make a couple of friends that, I mean, how many relationships have we had that started with friends and things like that?
I mean, that's how we know comics in,
Nebraska.
And the agent that we got set up with.
The agent that we ended up getting set up with for a while. Yeah, that was through a conversation that you had. And so, like, yeah, man, I mean, you're definitely playing the side quest game of life in the RPG where like you talk to everybody. Just like, oh, there's a person standing in front of the shop. Oh, I'm not just gonna go into the shop and get what I need. I need to talk to the person. There might be a mission. Oh yeah, side quest.
But I also feel like that's been a warning sign with my health because I felt so less talkative. Like just so like
I mean, because you got to take care of yourself, man. I think that's what we've talked about, like the bigger picture thing with all of this going on. Because, I mean, it's real easy to, and we have gotten to the points of just like, why is this happening? What's going on? Well, damn it, this needs to stop. Like, I had my time screaming in the car at the top of my lungs about how ridiculous this is. Because you're going through like health stuff again. Because, I mean, for the context for people who don't know, I mean, like, we've been friends for 16 years, together 13, married 10 in couple weeks here. And when, you know, we're in our friendship that leaked into becoming a couple, you were on the heels of you had ovarian cancer twice. And like people who are recent in our life, that's so not a thought in their head because they don't know because you're so far removed from that. But you've beaten cancer twice already. And so the looming of any, because the doctors have been floating around the scary words, you know, I mean, cancer, lymphoma, like leukemia, like they're like, we don't know, we need to get stuff tested, what could happen? And so we're still in the middle of we don't know phase. And so, yeah, when you're staring down the barrel of like, you know, oh man, this is happening again. And I think that's when I broke down to you when we were in the bedroom. I was just like real upset. And I was like, you shouldn't have to go through this again. And so that's been the biggest thing where it's just like, well, shit. So, but we've had those moments. The bigger picture, just for the sake of like our sanity, is like, okay, like, well, what's a big message here that's really fundamental to the core? You constantly are bleeding heart for other people and you're taking care of everybody else's stuff. You know, I mean, like between me, the kids, and then just all of our friends. You've got a list in your phone and your grandmother. Yeah, you've been taking care of your grandma for the past like almost 3 years because of her health stuff and her dementia that she has. But you've got a list in your phone of like where people are at and the last time you talked to them. And like, oh, last time I talked to this person, this was going on. So make sure the next time that you talk to them, ask about this. And so you keep tabs on how you could be of service to everybody else in your orbit. And it has put you almost permanently on the back burner to where you missed that there was some stuff going on with your health and we didn't know what to chalk it up to. And it was because you were just burning yourself out for everybody else but yourself. And so it's a matter of like, this has caused you to really force yourself to shine a light on yourself. And so through like getting back to the main point of you just being like, it's made me quieter when I'm out and about or around people. Because I mean, like you've said everything you need to say at this point, and it's time for you to figure out how to say what you need to say to yourself, how to figure out how to go inside and look at yourself. I say this being somebody who's like behind you in that. Like, I mean, like it's really easy for us. I think we've said about ourselves to like, we could totally see where everybody else is at in the game of chess in their life. Our own, we're just like, what the hell's going on here? But I feel like we're both really good at just like, that's why we work together so well, is because we do have these conversations about like, hey, seems like this is what's going on with you right now, but like, I know this is who you really are, or I know who this is, who you want to say you want to be. Seems like this is what needs to happen next. And so from this situation, it's just like, yeah, man, it's time for you to finally care about yourself. And get to that point of like caring about yourself.
Well, and just like to slow down. And there's been this trend on social media with like moms that I follow of like, well, why are you so wound tight all the time? And it's like a video of like brushing your teeth fast, washing dishes fast, do everything is like fast to get to the next thing. And that's also, I think, a good reason of why I've missed so much. Like, remember years ago, I used to like put lotion on twice a day, like my whole body.
Yeah,
like,
you do it naked, and that's why I remember it so much.
I don't remember, like, I didn't remember the last time I put lotion on my body, which also means like you're not feeling like around for things. Like I take a shower. Half the time I'm like talking to Robyn while I'm getting dressed. I'm not looking in the mirror. Like I'm just so disengaged from my body because I'm on to the next thing.
I love that kid so much, but if he is in your space, he is going to talk to you.
Well, he's going to, and like, not when I'm getting dressed, but like for me, and I love him to death. He has to be touching me in some capacity.
Yeah.
And I love him to death. And there's going to be a day that he's not going to want to, and that's going to suck. But it's also just hard to feel like your body's yours at times because
that's real.
It's a jungle gym for like so much of the day between him holding River, and again, love them, but you don't have a lot of time to just enjoy your being, like your body. And that's not a sexual thing, that's just fact.
That is.
Like,
it's a fact of parenting. I mean, your time isn't yours, and then a lot of times it feels like your body isn't yours.
Yeah.
I think that's a thing about parenting that you can't really give people the perspective on. Because, I mean, I feel like it's a trope that gets brought up in comedy before people bash their families, and I don't like that. I could say I never enjoyed it, but clearly in my 20s I did. There was a time for that type of humor where I was like, yeah, but that was also a time where I didn't want kids. So now having them, it's a completely different ballgame. But I mean, like, yeah, it's a hard perspective to give to somebody about like, hey, your time isn't yours and your body isn't going to feel like yours. The joy is yours though, for like watching kids figure stuff out. And that's why you keep
doing it, right?
Yes.
Like, that's why I keep wrestling with him, and I'm a jungle gym and all those things, because I love it. Hearing his laugh is the best sound in the world. God. And I am lucky to hear it so much during the day.
Yes.
But yeah, that is the part. And also hats off to any moms that have breastfed. Yes. Because then your body really isn't yours. Yeah. And it's just become a machine. And so I get how easy it is, especially breastfeeding, to lose yourself, but even just in this, and that's another piece of the puzzle that I didn't realize was an important aspect, is that I never produced milk really either pregnancy.
Yeah.
And now that's a thing that like, oh, we're looking at your pituitary gland to see like what's going on, because it's not firing things when it's supposed to. And also now, we were looking at for a while me having PMDD because when I'm ovulating, I hate everything.
Yes.
I hate everything. I don't want to be touched. I don't want to be talked to. I have no energy.
Which goes against the very nature of ovulation.
Right. The fact that we have 2 kids.
Is like hitting the fucking, that hole in Star Wars that he blew up the Death Star with, just small enough. Right. You got to get it right in there.
Well, and I think, but it's also hard because when you're looking at like my job and the certifications and the knowledge I have, like how you train females differently, and you're going off of the cycle, my cycle isn't that. Yes. I don't have the energy then. Like that's when I'm falling asleep standing up the most. And so something is causing my body to not do what it's supposed to. And
we're still trying to figure that something out. Yeah.
We have a scan in my brain tonight.
Yes. What a way to spend your night. It's weird doing scans on stuff like that in the evening. I don't know why it doesn't feel like an evening activity. It's not going to a rave. I mean, it's not going to be a disco CT scan, which I mean would be more fun. Yeah. If that was, put a disco ball in here. Like let's get it going, so that way it drowns out the wah or whatever that noise is of them making it.
I don't know that I've had one on my brain before, because body, it's like, you go in the machine and it'll be like, take a breath, hold your breath, and then you hold your breath for hella long, and then it scans, and then you can breathe. But it doesn't even give you time to breathe again. It's like, okay, now breathe in and hold your breath again. Yeah. So I don't know what they do for your brain.
I don't know what they do either, but you're about to find out. Yeah. Isn't that what they gave me, a CT scan for my gallbladder? Isn't that what they did when I was there? Because they had to give me, because they had to inject stuff in me, and then I was in the big thing. So I mean, that could show you, because I know how many times like you've been to the ER as a woman, and I went to the ER as a man in pain. And I mean, what they equate it to is labor pain, right? And so I'm going through that as a wuss, yelling and screaming, and they're like, get him a CT scan. You go in as a woman. It took you how many times before they finally gave you some type of CT scan, which was like this past weekend. Like you went in like 8 times, 10 times. And then finally they're like, all right, well, we'll give you a CT scan. It's like, why didn't you do this the first time? Like, I mean, like, it was so easy for me to get it. Yeah. And yet you're in there with side pain, chest pain, all the stuff they had. It's because you're not screaming. It's because you're being a woman and dealing with the pain in silence.
And even that day that I finally got it, I think that was when I was trying to help the special needs guy that had run away from a group home in Reno.
That part, right? 100%.
Also, probably why I'm not taken seriously because I'm still trying to help people.
You're still trying to help everybody, man. So, I mean, help yourself. But despite all this going on, I think the kids are great.
Always.
The kids are great. So, I mean, like...
River just had 2 teeth come in.
River's got 2 teeth in, bottom teeth. Yeah. She's gaining more personality. She just keeps shaking her head. And then the side tilt of the head. And I'm just like, oh, gross. You're so cute. Like, it's disgusting. Like, just the intentional head tilt. She does it all the time now. I don't know what that is.
Look at our son. Did you think the second one wasn't going to be cute?
I mean, no, I figured it was going to be cute. As attention seeking, though.
I mean, it's a mini-me.
So,
you say you love me. Put your money where your mouth is, because we got a mini-me coming up.
Oh, I know. And she's adorable. She's very, very cute. But, I mean, how do you think we've been getting along as far as, like, they're good and... with Robyn only letting him know what he needs to know as he needs to know it, you know?
I mean, it's hard. It's hard. And I want to say we read about this or listened to this not too long ago of like the energy in the households.
Yes.
And it was like, it was that book that we were listening to. And there was like the different studies of when the dad's energy is off, it doesn't really directly affect the kids as much, but it affects the mom, which then in turn, if the mom's energy is off, that's what the kids are like gravitated to.
You're the barometer of the energy in the house.
And I think that's made it so hard.
Yeah.
Especially when, you know, I've been the one home with them all the time when you're on the road. And I'm always the one that's playing with Robyn, taking him places. We're going outside. We're running around. We're doing all these things, and I just haven't been able to.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hardest thing because he knows I'm sick. We don't know why. And I was even just telling Percy, like, I think the other hard part is, like, Robyn knows a lot about health and vitamins and food and nutrients and, like, way more than the average 4-year-old. And so him just being like, oh, well, mommy, just take your vitamins.
Yeah.
And, like, not wanting to scare him of, like, well, sometimes the vitamins don't cut it.
Yeah.
But I didn't say that because you can't. And I already messed up that one time talking about being 100. So I'm really trying to watch what I say more.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
It is. It's a hard line to walk. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just, you do have to filter these thoughts. It's like, okay. I found myself taking long to respond to him where he'll start repeating himself. And I'm like, give me a second. Hold on. I'm thinking. Like, because I'm really trying to consider how I'm going to word this to you in such a way that doesn't lead you to believe things that might not be true, but also just like, I don't know, kids can't wrap their mind around hope. I don't know if that's even the right word that I want to say. There's this in between of like, well, let's see. We have to see what happens, and we don't know. But we know that these things aren't hurting, so we keep doing these things, you know? And I mean, like, it's not that they don't work sometimes. It's just that, like, there's stuff going on.
I think the hard part especially is, especially I feel like around his age, right? If kids see something happen, it's because there was a cause for it to happen. And when you can't see a direct cause for something to happen, it's a hard concept to grasp. You know, if it's like, okay, well, I drink water, so now I'm going to pee, and that makes sense.
Yes.
But when there's that missing piece to it, seemingly, that's the hardest part to explain is, you know, the why or the cause or the how long answers we don't have.
I think it is a position that people, when they're in health things, find themselves in with kids often, which is kids learning about the we don't know. And because it just feels like everything else your parents are supposed to know. You know, I mean, like any cold or anything, they're like, we do these things and we got to rest. Right? And so like common illnesses seems like mom and dad know. How to operate inside and outside of the house and with people seems like mom and dad know. Getting to a thing of just like concrete, it's just like, we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know why mom's not feeling well, but we know that she's not feeling well because something's definitely going on because of all these things. And so he's in tune to that. And I think it was the one time that you said you broke down because like you were playing with him, and then you had like a pain or something, and then he like grabbed your face and he's like, how's your blood pressure? And you're just like, oh, why? You shouldn't even know that you're 4.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, man, but he does. I mean, he went with the empathetic route because he's a good kid. You know, he really does care. Very, very emotionally in tune, that kid is. So it's really, really sweet of him to just like, yeah, no, I care about you still.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like we had that instance before where things might happen with one of our hells, or like, you know, someone's hurt.
Yeah.
And we were not getting a sense of urgency from his reactions. We're just like, well, that's not good. Do we just raise a little sociopath? He doesn't seem to care. Now he cares, and we're just like, let's
Can't
rewind
have it
a
both
little
ways,
bit.
right?
You can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it is very easy to get caught in trying to like rewind that. But I mean, all things considered, still, he's doing good, you know, and I think we're aware of things to where, like, you know, we've had talks as, you know, recent as the last few nights of just like, hey, we got to do stuff with him as a family. Like, because we are so into taking shifts, because everything that's been going on, I've been doing everything. You know, I mean, with people who like follow me online, they've noticed things kind of slowed down on my end. It's because, you know, I mean, I'm taking care of the household because, I mean, you need to rest as much as you possibly can. And we're actively trying to figure out what's going on, and then also balancing like work that actually needs to get done because it's like, you know, people paid us for stuff and we got to do it.
Yeah.
So I've been doing everything. And so getting caught up in the, hey, don't just spend this whole time cleaning. Because I know like when you're stressed and you feel like there's a situation out of your control, you clean. And I'm like, I do. I do clean because it's something I can't control what's going on with your health right now, but I can make sure the house is as tidy as humanly possible. I can make sure the space feels as good as possible. I want to make sure that it feels homey as much as possible and not super clutterly and stressful, because I know that you're going through enough, so we don't need that too. And so we've been trying to be more aware of, all right, what does it look like to actually spend time today? What does it look like to actually do stuff today? We've still been trying to do stuff. I mean, like as much like fun, free, discounted things as we possibly can do. And I mean, we've been very, very fortunate, like between friends gifting us things to events to be able to go and do fun things and have a lot of fun.
Wrestling at the library.
Wrestling at the public library. I mean, like not like something we did because we had to dispute with somebody in the nonfiction section. No, like pro wrestling happening at libraries is a thing. And so our local libraries have had a couple of pro wrestling events, and we've taken our kids to them, and they've had a lot of fun, minus Robyn with the bad guys. He did not like the bad guys, but Rivers definitely got she might have a weird first memory. I feel like when you're a baby, there's like one or two that sneak in there.
Yeah.
And she might have one of just like these burly dudes throwing each other around in the public library. So yeah, no, we've had no shortage of just like being very aware of trying to do things with the kids as a family.
It puts so
help.
much in perspective. And even like we were talking about yesterday, that's, I think, the hardest thing with what our jobs are.
Yep.
Is, you know, yesterday you were just like, I just want to be with my family. And comedy doesn't work that way. And social media doesn't work that way.
Doesn't.
And so it's, you know, really finding that balance of, okay, well, how do we keep a roof over our head and food in our bellies? But like, it's also given the perspective of like, slow down and be present more.
Yes.
And so trying to really balance those things is hard.
It is.
It's hard. And I think our last, you know, 2 or 3 months that we've had going back to back health things has put a lot into perspective. And now it's just like, okay, well, how do we still find desire to be creative, but then also use that creativity to be creative?
Yeah.
That we're not working ourselves to the bone and missing the big picture in all this.
Because I've found recently, like, creativity has felt like a hump to get over to get to the good side. Because I mean, like, it's become like going to the gym. I know I'm going to feel good when I've done it, but the act of doing it feels laborious right now. Because I mean, if I've got to stop and sit where I'm at with my feet, I'm concerned about you. You know, you're my best friend, and I don't want anything to happen to you. And so I'm just like, yeah, man, like we can't be doing this again. And so, it's hard not to be in that. And I think we talked about this earlier. Like, I'm walking a fine line because my chosen career and everything I post on social media and just my lane is silly. You know, I've got a very silly job and I'm very grateful for it, but it makes it hard in times like this to walk that line of like, I don't want to come off as insensitive to what's going on with you. And I don't want you to feel like it's not a big deal at any point of just like, does he even actually care? He's just kind of like carrying on like nothing's going on. So it's a fine line to walk to where it's like, I don't want to be like, oh, yeah, your side pain really, really hurts. I gotta shoot this sketch about Robyn going poop and I really need to get it ironed out like today because I've only posted 2-3 things. It's a weird conversation that you've got to make sure that you're navigating at a certain time and place and in a certain way. And so there's a lot more. And I think that level of tact that has to be taken that is relatively new to me in a lot of ways is also hard when I'm taking on, like you had mentioned earlier, your brain can do a lot. It really, really can. And I have tried that on in a small amount, not even the full amount, in a small amount recently, having to take care of the household all day, every day. And the small dose I got was overwhelming, where I'm just like, you're zoned out a lot. Can you come back online? I'm like, there's a lot on my mind. And she's like, yeah, no shit. Welcome to the parade. Good to have you here. I mean, and so like, yeah, at a baseline, everything you've got going on is a lot. And putting that on to try and take care of the household is a lot to acclimate myself into, on top of having to learn a new way of navigating my own life in a way that can still hold the same impact, but also show the empathy needed and give you the space to be there for. So it's a lot, man.
And it's a weird world because, you know, you see on social media, right? Like women will talk about like their husbands or boyfriends or partners like being on their phone all the time or pooping for hours a day because they're on their phone. And it's like that weird line of like, well, I don't want you to do that. But like, I also know you need to do that in some aspects and like, yeah, finding that middle ground. But I also think, you know, and like you were telling me yesterday, it's hard for you to turn it on and off and it becomes exhausting.
Yes.
And there's that point of like, I think turning it on sometimes can be useful as the household, especially like to take my mind off of things, to get Robyn into a place where you ask him to do something silly and that's the highlight of his day. And so I think it's like trying to find it of like not exhausting you at the same time, but finding the ways that it can be useful for work and for home.
100%. 100%. And I fully recognize that's the way the mechanism works. Like if I can find it within myself to be on and, you know, just so much of like being an active parent is doing bits with the kids. And it's just like, I mean, like, do the bit, commit to the bit, do it all the way, like have fun, be smart aleck with it and everything. And so there is that aspect. I just think lately with all the concern about stuff going on with you, it's been like, do I have the capacity right now to set up the slingshot and propel myself up to that? Because it is a switch. Because I'm going from just like oh shit, what's going on right now? And why don't we have answers? It's so frustrating that you're not getting the same treatment that I would get in this situation because of gender identity. Going from that to make them laugh. I do have to load myself into the slingshot and shoot myself up to it and then allow myself to fall back down and go, all right, do we move the trampoline over so I could just keep going? But then at what point do we rest? All this. So it's just like, I'm going from sideline to sideline and it's really hard to do.
Well, and I think that's why you look at, I'll just say comics, but probably musicians as well on the road, right? It's the same slingshot of like going out, doing the show, going back to your hotel room. And that's why so many entertainers fall into different vices.
Yes.
And I think what makes it harder for you right now is that's not on the road, that's at home.
Yes.
And that's typically where the break of that is.
100%.
And it's this weird thing because I was even thinking about it maybe yesterday or the day before of, I think the hard part of being on this side of it is you have the luxury, you go out, you do the shows, you do your cruises, you have those like change of sceneries and change of routine.
Yeah.
And then you're getting home and trying to like hope for a routine. And I'm like, I'm bored of this freaking routine. And it's such a weird, I just don't think it's talked about enough, which is also why I really want to do that podcast with Molly. Because
Our friend who is a comedy wife.
We've had them on the podcast.
Yes, we've had them on the podcast.
Because
it's true.
It's this weird dynamic that I don't think people talk about enough.
Yeah.
And like are privy enough to like the that's why I did that post, of the things people don't know being married to a stand-up comedian, like the pros and the cons. And yeah, that's the hard part of the person that gets to go out and have the change of scenery versus the person that doesn't.
Willie thrives on the routine getting back home because it's the constant. And the person who's dealing with the constant wants,
not that.
Give me anything else but this right now.
So even the drive here, I was like, can we listen to something else?
Yeah. I caught myself just autopiloting because, and okay, on that. So like having Robyn's playlist that we listen to in the car always going on. I have that. I download that playlist when I'm away. So that way it's on my phone because to me, that's a little bit of home. So it's just enough home for me to be like away, but still have one toe in the home. And for me, I'm like, it's fine. And I've added enough stuff constantly to this playlist that it's actually kind of a banger for as far as like remixes and songs.
Or he doesn't listen to your normal kids.
No, songs. I mean, like we got a couple of Pokemon theme songs in there and
some trolls.
Some trolls, but I mean,
a lot of
like
Macklemore.
A lot of Macklemore.
There's a lot of EDM.
There's a ton of EDM from like old songs that we found, old remixes and everything. Because I mean, like he fancies a dance party like us. We put on the strobe light in the living room and we'll do a dance party every now and again, which we need to do probably before I leave. And so, yeah, man, I mean, I autopiloted being like, this is fine. And you're like, could we listen to anything else? Because I swear to God, if I got to listen to this again, because that's all because I get to go away and I get to break. And you're always the person who's thriving and like really wanting that break. And so I think that aspect of the entertainer to, I don't want to say normal person, but like the person holding down the fort.
Yeah.
Like that constant, like you've got to be able to still come home and all right, now what are we doing? Yeah. Like, where are we going? That's out of the house. What's the thing we're doing? I mean, it's just, and be okay with not being home as much as you can as a means to serve to like, all right, I know you've been holding down the fort. Let's acknowledge that. All right, let's go do something as a family and have that bonding time. And I mean, you're going to be tired. I mean, we were talking, it was with Morty that we were talking about that, right? I mean, like as a parent, you're going to be tired.
Yeah. You can't keep using it as a cop out though.
You can't.
To not be present in your kid's life.
Yeah, man.
Because I think that's like the people that are waiting to be ready for kids. And that's like assuming you want them. Like you're never going to be ready. And that doesn't mean like go get somebody pregnant tomorrow.
Sure.
But just so in that you're always going to be tired. And so if you're waiting for it to wake up for a day that you're not going to be tired, it's going to be when you're dead.
Yes.
And that's harsh, but that's real.
That's the truth of the matter. Yeah. And this game of parenting, if you do it to the highest of your abilities, even if you don't do it to the highest of your ability, on a slow day, it's exhausting. You're still clocking in with them every single day, all day. And so that's why I think we've passed the point of society, like we can't have any more fair weathered people parenting. Like if you don't want kids, I don't want you to have them. I've said that a lot. But now it's just like, if you kind of don't want kids or you don't know if you want to have kids, I don't want you to have kids either. Yeah. Like,
well, they're not a science experiment.
No, like we can't just like, well, maybe I'll like it as it happens, or like maybe it's my thing. It's just like, I think we need people with bells and whistles on, like Leroy Jenkins, let's go. Like you need to be white knuckling, like excited. Yeah. To be a parent, so that way, like you can, like I had said earlier, you can be tired but smiling, right? I mean, like I think that's just such a big thing. Is just like, yeah, we're tired, but I mean, like getting to see getting to see Robyn at a wrestling event lose his mind when the wrestler comes out and they do the thing. It's like, oh man, like yeah.
Well, even him, like, and that's why I love the indies so much with him, because the amount of like, heels or bad guys in wrestling lingo that have come up to him and Robyn's just like, you can't see me to their face, and the crowd gets behind Robyn. and I love taking him to the big stuff too, but you're not going to get that moment.
You don't.
So I think that's also been cool, like to see him get into it.
Yeah.
But it's also put so much perspective into this, like of not just like you're going to be tired as a parent, but I think people waiting to pull the trigger on anything, like to shoot them to wherever they want to go in life, whether it's like trying a new hobby, a new career, traveling, whatever that thing is. Like if you're waiting for a sign, you're probably going to miss it.
You are.
You're going to just keep waiting because you're just coming up with reasons not to do it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's been the biggest perspective in this, and in, you know, we've been doing so much woo-woo research on like mind, body, and how things, you know, can manifest in the body because you're not putting it into practice actively. And so much that I've been getting downloads on, and even like watching readings with like Chris Corsini stuff that he does every month. All of it's just been like, oh, you've been on the back burner for a really, really, really long time. And if you don't do something about it, you're just going to miss it entirely. Yeah. And that's been the thing of like, okay, I want to do like more things as a family, more things with us, but more things for me. Because everywhere in my career, I've been really quick to like speak up, and then somebody checks me and I'm like, it's not worth the fight. And I just sit back down. And getting to a point of like, no, it's all worth the fight.
Time to fight. Front burner or bust, man. I mean, like that's where we're going.
Yeah.
Like it is time to step up to the plate and swing. We've got enough time, like working on it. It's time for us both to just kind of like step up and just like be who you are. Like focus on who you are. Focus on your family. Yeah. And move forward.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it's funny because now, I don't know if funny is the right word. It's been ironic.
Don't you think?
In all of this, especially like since having River, since moving to the new house right before we had her, ironically, what was one of the first things to go out at the house? The front burner. That was like one of the first things to go out. And then I remember
that's right.
Weird things that I'm getting downloads on lately. And then also remembering like right when we moved into the house, for a while, Robyn kept saying, I miss mommy. And you're like, she's here. She's right here. She's right here. Yeah. And so there was just all these weird things that I'm like, okay, if you don't get it to freaking gather right now, you're going to miss it entirely. Yeah. And so it's been like all of these things that now I'm like, oh, okay, got it. Message received, understood. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're sifting through it all. We are swimming against the current.
Yeah. Well, and I remember as all this started with my health, and we had a sit down of like, okay, when it comes to both of our careers, what do we take a break on? What do we keep moving forward? And that's where I was telling you, I was like, I want the podcast to keep happening. Yes. Like there's definitely aspects behind the scenes that are exhausting, and like I'd love help with it and to figure it out. But this is, I think, one of the few things that, like, I really enjoy our time doing it together. Yeah. It's not a lot of time that we get alone anymore. But I also think, like, these conversations that we've had thus far between not just us two, but people that we've had on the podcast are important ones that, you know, there's podcasts for everything. Yeah. And I think there's, you know, even parenting podcasts, you know, you look at Dr. Becky and all those things of like how to be a better parent. And those are helpful. But I think like hearing the real stories from people of all walks of life, and no families look the same. You know, some are single parents, some are foster parents, some have two moms, two dads, polycules, like all the things. Yeah. And so I think really getting, especially now more than ever, getting that out of not all families look the same, but they need to all be respected and learned about in different ways. And so that's where I was like, no, this I want to keep doing. And, you know, said it before, we go on the road and we do live ones where parents can come and get away from the kids for a while. Maybe there's a daycare attached to it.
Oh man, that'd be great.
So there's so many things that I've seen for this podcast for the last year that I'm like, no, this is an important thing to me. And as long as I can keep forming thoughts, I want to do it. So.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. Cause I mean, like you said earlier, coming from like being in the kitchen, just with a camera set up and, you know, being newly pregnant all the way to today, you know, us doing this here. I mean, yeah, we've come a long way. And so it's cool to think, where we'll be in a year or two of like consistently going. But like you had said, the biggest thing is like it gives us this time with each other. And I mean, like I feel better now having had this conversation uninterrupted with just the hum of the equipment here. I mean, like it's nice to force us to be like, here's time for you two to just talk. And we made notes. We didn't follow them.
No.
But I mean, I think it just is, it really speaks to how much we have to say to each other. And a time where it's just like, no, like be forcibly sat in chairs facing each other and talk to each other about what's going on, where you're at right now, work through things, whatever that ends up looking like, whether it's something serious, something silly, something all of those things and everything in between. Being able to have this time is really, really important. And so, yeah, if nothing else, it's keeping it going for the sake of just honoring what exists in our relationship, and we want to keep exploring and untangling and seeing what it grows into.
Well, and we're not the keeping up with the Joneses couple on social media. We're going to show the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between.
Everything in between, yeah.
And I think people need more of that. I think it's very easy to see the stuff where the kitchen's clean and everything's organized and they're like doing everything, perfectly. And that's just not realistic.
Our kitchen is clean today.
It is.
But yeah, it's not realistic.
Well, and I think we've noticed how important it is for us to have these conversations. And that's also what makes it so exciting to me at the potential of when we can do live ones. Because how many couples could also like come up and like have conversations semi-publicly or like at least talk about things that they want to talk about. And I feel like giving people more of that space could be huge for other families. Yeah. And maybe it's things that they're not realizing until they see more of these type of things.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
It's like the caller daddy, but for parents.
Yes. Caller father and mother.
Caller guardian.
Caller guardian. Yes, legally. Okay.
Or call them guardian.
Call them guardian. Yes, that's what it would be. There you go. We're like that. No, I love that. I think that would definitely be the next place to go. And so I'm excited about the prospect of taking it to that place. And also that meaning like for real, you guys are with me on the road. And so we can continue to like be a family and be around each other and show our kids just like, hey man, it's a lot of work. It's work we're willing to put in if it means that we get this, because I mean, as far as like our family, like we're here for each other as much as we possibly can be, whatever that looks like, whatever it evolves into, this is what it looks like to make that happen.
I think normalizing the importance of being a family.
Yes.
I think so many people are working 40, 50, 60-hour work weeks with all their jobs, and
you miss the family.
You miss the family.
You completely miss it.
Yeah.
And that's been the thing within like your health stuff and it meeting like our financial stuff lately is people who have gotten to me on the side and been like, maybe it's time to get like a real job. And I'm just like, no. Like,
that doesn't help our situation either.
It doesn't help our situation because of the uniqueness of the situation that we found ourselves in. It doesn't adhere to like how things are in California right now economically, which is also its own narrative in this. But also it's just like I'm not getting caught in the trap and then just being away from my family.
Because we'd see you less.
You'd see me less.
Yeah.
You'd see me less than you do right now. And I'm already, there's days I'm just gone. But I mean like when I'm home, I'm around. And so, yeah, just I think that's just so wrong how we operate as a society where it's expected of you to miss 40 to 60 hours a week of your family's life and just providing for them and then catching them later on the back nine and then wondering why you're not close when they're grown. It's because you weren't close when they were little.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, as much of things right now feel like an uncertain struggle, I'm doing everything I can to just throw the gratitude. I'm like, yeah, but you're here. Like, we're here right now. We're doing it right now. And so...
Well, and I think I found when you're comparing our relationship now and what our relationship went through during the pandemic, I don't think you can put a financial amount on how important it can be for your roles to reverse as a couple. I don't think nothing will get you to understand what the other person's doing until you've switched.
Yes.
And we've been fortunate enough
that we've switched a lot.
We've switched a lot where I was on the road working and you were home and vice versa. And so there's been so many things that I think we understand each other more than most couples because we've had that.
Game recognized game.
Yeah.
And it's because we played each other's games a little bit and been like, ooh, there are parts of this that I did not foresee.
Yeah.
And now that I'm here, I understand a lot more.
Yeah.
There's so much gratitude to be fleshed out, and I'm glad we got to flesh it out here.
Yeah.
So I think this was good. But we are coming up on the end of our episode. So now that you're all caught up on the Weber saga for where it is right now, which feels like in the Empire Strikes Back moment before we Return of the Jedi, if I can talk about a trilogy that you're just like, I don't know what that means. You're like, you're probably right.
I've never been a big Star Wars fan. I'm sorry.
That was my thing. But I mean, it is a story about a hard relationship with a man and his father.
I mean, that's where our friend was asking if Robyn had watched it yet. And I was like, no, Robyn has a sister. I'm not really about him.
We don't want to blur those lines.
And she just laughed. She's like, that's a fair point.
Of what is and isn't okay to do with your sister. Right, George Lucas? Anywho, sound off in the comments. Let us know how y'all are doing.
What city do you want to see the podcast
What city do you want to see the podcast come
to?
to? Yeah. I mean, if this is going to be a thing that we're manifesting into the ethers of the world right now, it has to come to fruition, right? So, I mean, like the Two Tired Parents show.
Yeah.
When does it come to a city near you? What is the city near you that it can come to? And how many of your friends and Two Tired Parents friends can you get out? So sound off in the comments. Let us know. And thank you so much for watching and listening. This has been the Two Tired Parents podcast. I am Myles Weber.
I am Heather Weber, and I love you very much.
And I love you very much. And we love you. I
felt like
you
that
all.
Needed to be said. In this
I know,
episode.
right?
It felt weird not to say it because we're still people. So
exactly.
I love you.
I love you too. And we love you all. So we'll see you next time.